What's the mother fluffing? Nah, motherfucking deal. I can't change it up. I can't fluff it up. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. And if you're not familiar with the Den, I'll familiarize you in just a second. But we have Mr. Man Up joining us this evening. How you feeling tonight, Mr. Man Up?
Oh, I can't complain. Feeling good, feeling good. You know, how you feeling today?
Man, no complaints on my end. I feel like we didn't just, if for those who don't know, in the Den, we also have a sports channel, and I feel like, with the collaborative efforts on that have taken a step in the right direction and, hoping to make more and more progress. So, I'm feeling good about that. I think we reached a little milestone today. So, onward ho, or whatever they used to say back in the day when they was trying to make moves. But we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the importance of family time. And not just necessarily, immediate family. We can talk about, your extended family. And I would also say, the time with people that you would almost consider family. You can't always pick your family, but sometimes you can pick your real good friends. Now, you got to be careful. Everybody ain't your friend, so you don't want to be spending time with everybody. But you want to make sure you spend time with your quality friends and make sure you keep those relationships nurtured. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get into all of that tonight, we are going to discuss one of the most important things that we ever talk about in the Den, and that's who we have joining us in the chat today. We'll see who we got talking trash in the chat. I see the Baker Man. What's the motherfucking deal? DeMarcus Johnson. What's the motherfucking deal? Anthony Gucci. We'll see about unbanning you. We'll see if you're acting right. You with that. You part of that little gang or that word I get tired of hearing. I see Man Up holding down the chat and holding down the stream, so I appreciate that. You've been Gertruded. DeMarcus, that's funny. Let's see. And I see Kenneth. You say, the sauce come far from spilling cereal to having former Texas. So I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the exact same thing. I say, okay, it started off me talking shit with Shaq Kush and his black quarterback hating ass. And, I was just sitting there like, man, it's a little bit of continued growth, though, continued progress. We ain't stopped yet. McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? And Kenneth says, the less time in the Den, the better my grades. Good, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're talking about move to Den time. Now, I want you to get good grades. You're going to be listening to the Den instead of doing your homework. Thank me later. You know what I'm saying? When you graduate and the Den and grew up into something, the Sauce and grew up into something, maybe I'll hire you. I don't know. Probably not. You'll be sipping with my secretary. But, man, I just want to say I appreciate y'all, though, all the friends of the Den and those of you who do fuck with the Sauce, too, for just holding down the holding down the flavor in the sauce, holding down the Den, and just, again, like I say, continued progress, man, and I hope y'all see the growth and the progress, as because it's still a learning process for me too. And I don't think I ever intentionally just said, hey, I'm gonna be a YouTuber, I'm gonna do this. I think things just kind of fell in place, and I think that's just kind of the way the world works sometimes. Trey, Jason Ducey, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see y'all. But again, like I said, we're gonna talk about family time. We're going to talk about the importance of family time. And yes, for the mixer crew, we will have a mixer this evening. But family time, I think, is essential. And I think, let's kind of start with the immediate family and kind of work our way out, why it's so important with the immediate family, and then, why it's important to spend time with your extended family, and, so on. The immediate family, especially if you are, a father, looking at it from a male perspective, or if you're a mother listening to this, if you have kids, if you are what they call the nuclear family, or, even if it's just one and half a dog, or whatever, however they classify it. But I think the importance, and we kind of discussed some of this, I want to say we were talking about this a little bit yesterday almost. We had a conversation, somebody was asking about, I think Edman called and said, how do you know if you failed as a parent? Because we got into a different discussion later in the stream yesterday. Mm-hmm. But I think the importance of spending time with the immediate family is something that you touched on last time, Man Up, and as I've actually been thinking about a couple of times this week, is being there for guidance, helping them learn how to make the right decision. As far as your significant other, sometimes they're not always thinking clearly, and you can be the voice of reason. For the younger ones, they may not have been through the experiences. They may not understand fully, the impact of their actions and what life can do to you. And so you're there to give them that wisdom and advice. Because I think somebody asked along the lines, hey, if your daughter's 15 and she's, doing wild stuff at the football games or this and that, are you a bad parent? Have you failed? And I kind of said, no, because, unfortunately that's not what you want, but puberty is a thing, peer pressure is a thing. There are certain things that you're going to be inevitable. Now, if you've instilled the right values, then that's hopefully something you don't have to worry about. But I've known, girls who've come from good families who've done wild stuff. I know dudes who've come from good families and end up doing wild stuff. Sometimes that association can be a thing. But I think if you're getting the right level of attention at home, you're not craving that type of stuff. If you're getting the right guidance at home, you won't necessarily crave that stuff. But even if you do have some of those behaviors, or you are engaging in certain things, the fact that, to me, what is most important, is being able to have those open lines of communication. Because I think that's one of the most important things you can do is have that communication with your children, again, your wife, the dog. He ain't gonna talk back, but the dog will listen sometime. But having communication, communication rules the nation. Your thoughts, Mr. Man Up, as far as dealing with, spending time with family. What is the goal, or what do you look to gain from spending time with your immediate family?
I think what it is to gain is just a mutual understanding of things. Of course, everybody have their own mind that's going to want to do their own thing. And that's not to say you're going to make your wife, your husband, your kids, whatever, do what you want. No, it's just saying, okay, just being open in their lives, talking, communicate, doing things together, let them know that you're there for them. Whatever you need, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. Things of that nature, if that makes sense to you. And then also, too, what it could do is this here. It sets that foundation to saying, okay, whatever's going on, I can come to, I can come to my family, and probably get their advice on something, things like that. Because, even when I was a kid, what I'm saying? Yeah, I told y'all before like this, my mom used to work crazy hours, to take care of the household and stuff like that since my dad died. And that spending family time with my mom was few and far because, like I said, she worked a lot. So, and I understand and I appreciate that, but also too, being there, with my mom, the times that I did get, going to Piccadilly to go eat, things like that, spending time with her and stuff. And then letting her know what's going on with me and how I feel about this and that, to me was a good thing. I felt, now that I look back on it, I put it like this, now that I look back on it, I felt special, felt like I can come to my mom and talk to her about things. And that's how I think you want to be with your kids today. It's basically the same thing. They're going to go, like you just said, they're going to have the peer pressure. They're going to go through some challenges. And that's really, you can't stop it. You can't lock them up and say, hey, you're not going to go through anything, because that's not going to solve anything. They got to go through things, and your job is to just say, from a parent standpoint, I should say, is just saying, hey, I know you're going to want to do these things here. Let me let you know what it is and how it's going to be to go through this. Because you're not going to stop them. And just think about it. When you was a kid, you did things that, your parents wouldn't approve of. Hell, I know I did. And even to this day, I did a lot of things that my mom don't know I did. But, things like that, what I'm saying? You got to, have that open communication. So, the kids are going to be kids. That's just what it is. And then, like I said, with your spouse, what I'm saying? Let them know that, same thing, that you're there for them. You can talk to them. Spend time with them. Let them know, hey, what's going on? How was your day? How was work? Did you like that movie which you went to go see? Whatever the case is. Things like that. Keep that open dialogue, things like that. Now, I will say that, I want to say this here too. Let me give a disclaimer real quick. I don't want to say that I got it all figured out, because I do not, by a long shot. I do not have it figured out. I'm learning. I'm figuring some of these things out. I'm getting it as I go, day by day. Every day is a learning curve, and I'm basically sitting here willing to share what I know, what I'm learning, things like that. So I don't know about thinking that I got this down pat, because I don't. But it's just that I think there's a good thing to spend time with them, let them know what's going on with you. Don't have nobody trying to guess what you're doing and things like that, because I've seen some crazy stuff out there, with some people that I'm cool with, and you will never know what the hell when things happen. You'll be like, damn, that ain't the person that I knew. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. To just sit here and be like, we can sit here and talk, we can be cool, we can be friends, whatever. Because like with my wife, me and her are cool, we're still best friends. You know what I'm saying? With my daughter, I'm not gonna say I'm her best friend, but she can come talk to me, she can confide in me and things like that. Like every day I pick her up from school, how's your day? What you do today? Sometimes she'll tell me, sometimes she won't. You know what I'm saying? I know, like I said, I know she's a kid. You ain't gonna always want to talk to your parents. And I always tell her, say, hey, if you got anything you want to talk about, feel free to come to me and we could talk. And she's like, oh, no, Dad, I know. I said, okay, just want to make sure that, And that's another thing, too, as well. Now that I just crossed my mind, don't ever force somebody to talk to you or be around you, because then that's going to make them resent that time that they're spending with you, because it's not willingly, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, and then that kind of goes with, your extended family, too. But, like, and then some of your friends that you might, oh, man, that's my brother right there. That's my bro, man. We've been down for, it kind of goes with, your, I guess you want to call it your so-called family. But, you got your real close friends, saying that you consider, family, stuff like that, So it goes with them too as well, like I said, and, things of that nature. So I think when it comes to like spending family time, the number one thing to do is to communicate, and we all do it willingly. Because if you do it unwillingly, you're basically wasting your time. They saying you muted.
Yeah, I guess I have to take the wrong audio. That's what it is. I'm signature. Oh, okay. So my fault. Yes. Well, see what had happened.
Yeah, you make a good point. Can you repeat what you're saying? Yeah. You're making a good point.
I ain't want Kenneth to hear me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Kenneth was in here. I was saying some good stuff. I ain't want Kenneth to hear me. But no, I clicked the wrong thing. I clicked the audio for the intro. But what I was saying is that what you were saying about having that open line of communication is essential, because, like I said, what I see is that what comes from, it tends to be more lower class families that have that generation after generation of suffering, poverty, problematic situations. Is, I've seen a lot of young kids, 3, 4, 5, and they may be trying to go to their mom, or if it's a single parent household, or daddy may be working a lot or whatever it is, and they go curious about the world with questions, and mama too busy, she watching the soap operas, or she watching whatever's on TV, and so hey, get out of my face, I'm busy, and dismissing the child with ease instead of catering to the fact that they're willing to want to learn. And so I think that does a couple of things. And one of those things is, like I say, it hinders their willingness to learn, because they're going to associate, well, I tried to go learn something, I tried to ask for something, and I got rejected. So that leaves a negative stain on their brain. And then it also makes it look like, okay, well, when it comes to that person, I can't communicate with that person because they always give me negative feedback. And so I think that even those small interactions as a child they, people remember that. And so I think as they get older, especially those lives never grow up because people just expect things from children. They expect other people to raise the children for some reason, and they never really are that avenue for assistance or advice. And so those kids just kind of, they feel like they don't really have someone to turn to in that sense. So I think, like you said, about one, not forcing the communication, but two, but being always open, say, hey, just let them know, hey, you can always come talk to me. I think that is a very significant thing to let people know, to feel comfortable that, hey, I'm here for you, to help you. I'm not going to force it out of you, but I'm here to help you. So yeah, I think that's important.
And that is the key thing. Like I said before, when I was growing up, I was forced to go to church every single day of the week. Now, when I'm older, I'm not going to say I don't want to go, but when you're forced to do something, when you get out of that situation, don't have to do it, you're 9 times out of 10 is not going to do it anymore, more than likely. So that's why I say it got to be willingly. Now, Edman, you know what? Before I get to this, Edman always asks me good questions, and I want to give him a shout out. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that, Edman. You keep it up, man, because he just asked me another good question. He said, "Man up, do you believe people dismiss family time in America more than other countries?" That, like I said, that is a real good question. And from what I've seen before, this is how I'm going to put it because I can't really say what they do in other countries. But from what I've seen before, I have seen, like Honcho was just saying, I have seen a lot of parents here in America that do dismiss their kids and don't really pay that much attention to them, only when other people are around to try to show out, stuff like that. And that's not a good thing. I think a lot of parents do take these things for granted, you know what I'm saying? And it'd be a little bit too late when that child is doing crazy things out in the world. And then the first thing they'll say, I didn't raise you like that. Yeah. Well, you kind of did. You know what I'm saying? You kind of did when you don't answer your kids' questions, you know what I'm saying? Because my daughter, all the time when we watching TV or me and my wife talking, I'm talking to my daughter. And like I said, sometimes I forget that she's a kid and I'll be saying, some adult words. And I'm not going to say cursing or nothing like that, but say some big words. And she'll be like, Dad, what do that mean? And I have to tell her, you know what I'm saying? And, for example, and I'll be saying, you reneged on your deal. She said, what that mean? You didn't do it. You said you was, but you didn't. Things like that. She's like, oh, okay. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and kids, they want to learn, but who they're going to go to first is the people they're around the most. You know what I'm saying? Who they feel comfortable with, I should say. And that more than likely will start with the parents. And then, that's when the kids are going to, they soaking up everything they see and hear. And so with being dismissive, yeah, a lot of parents in this country are dismissive of the kids. Like Honcho said, they be wanting to watch their soap operas. They be wanting to, gossip with their friends or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. And that's not a good thing. And a lot of times what I like to do with my daughter, I like to give her space because I don't want to smother her. But a lot of times I know that she likes to play Minecraft. And I'm not going to sit there and say I'll play it with her, but I come down there, sit down and watch her play. And I ask her questions. What is that? What are you doing with that? Or, things like that, because I don't really play the game. So. And I'll be watching her. I'm sorry, I'm reading this comment. It said, man up, have you explained your daughter the meaning of the okie dokie? No, she's only 8 years old, so no.
Kiddos don't even know what the okie doke is. Kiddos probably fell for the okie doke twice a day.
Not yet. But I forgot what I'm saying because I was just reading that. But
the Minecraft, and just kind of ask her the questions about playing Minecraft and things like that.
Yeah, even though I'm not really into it, but it's just the fact that that lights her up. That I'm down there with her. Me and my wife is down there with her. We're talking. We take her out to eat. We'll ask her where she wants to go. And she'll say, oh, I want to go eat here or whatever. Instead of just saying, no, you're going to go where I want to go. No. Let her understand, because when she gets out in the world, you don't want her to be, when she becomes an adult, get out there in that world, you don't want her to, have that very submissive mind state. You want her to let her know, hey, you're your own boss. You know what I'm saying? You you know, you control your destiny. Don't let nobody control it for you. And like I said, they all starts at home when they're a kid, and you know, things like that. So when you come spending that time, especially with kids. Now I'm on kids right now, but I'm gonna end up getting like your spouse, your brother, your sister, your cousin, auntie, grandma, all of them later in a minute. But I think the kids are the most important. That's why I want to start there. But when it comes to like spending with your kids, they are soaking up everything. Whether you realize it or not, they are soaking it up. And a lot of times, though, even when they're in their teenage years, going through the teenage puberty, you know what I'm saying, they start getting the boys start growing facial hairs, and the girls, you know what I'm saying, things start changing with their bodies, start getting all the attention from boys and stuff like that. You know, they're still soaking it up from what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Don't think they're not, because they are. I'm not gonna lie, I was, with my mom. Like I said, my dad died when I was 6 years old, so I didn't really have that father figure, but I was still soaking it up with my mom and my sister and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but, don't think they ain't soaking it up. Don't think they ain't paying attention, because trust me, they are. You know what I'm saying? But right now, while they're young, like I said, my daughter's 8. When she's young, I try to give her all the attention that I can give. But like I said, I don't want to smother. So it's like that little fine line, because you don't want her to get tired of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then you want to let her know that, hey, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. So it's like this little fine line, and I know every child is different. So some kids are more needed. Some kids are like, don't want you around as much, things like that. Because right now, when I drop my daughter for school almost every day, I say, give me a kiss. I love you, bye. You're like, Daddy, my friends are around. Things like that. She don't want to give me a kiss in front of her friends. And I know it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just be teasing all the time. But, it's just one of those things. And, excuse me, I'm sorry. And that's it's just one of those things, with kids, you got they'll get it straight, you know what I'm saying? Just lay that foundation, and trust me, when they get older, you're going to see exactly what it is.
Yeah, I think you have to make those investments, those time investments now, so that they do pay off in the long run. And the funny thing about it was that, you have to take the time now, because when you spend time now, it compounds in the future. So what I'm saying is that once you've kind of spent the time, gone over certain things, the more positive or the negative, or spent that time giving the advice, now the little small situations that they encounter, throughout the years, they realize, okay, well, I've already known about this. I've already gotten this advice, as opposed to them bumping their head for the next few years, and then getting into a major situation and having difficulty trying to figure it out. But when you start them off young, then they start learning how to handle the small situations in the right way. And then when a major situation comes, they're like, oh man, I already know how to handle this. It's nothing. It becomes a breeze. But when you don't ever take that time to assist them, or to spend that time with them, like you say, but to give them the adequate amount of attention, but not overdo it, then like I say, they develop the necessary skills. But again, you can overdo it. Some people be overdoing it and trying to give their kids a little everything. Like I say, and Kenneth, with this whole feed Scotty's sitting fat and spoiled.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, are you feeding Scotty? Because they could talk about feeding Scotty.
Man, I just went, look, Scotty got a whole bag of food, and then went and grabbed I just went and grabbed a bag. It was on sale at Target. Just went and grabbed a bag bigger than Scotty of food. So he got it's like a lifetime supply for Scotty. So he good, man. Full of that whatever it's that Blue Buffalo or whatever. Man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like yeah, he good. Trust me. Scotty gonna be fed from now to 2020. He's straight with all that damn food. Don't make no damn sense. I was like using it as a little body weight work. I was this little big ass bag. Let me do some curls with this bag. Damn it broke my back. Look.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I was picking up the bag a little when at the store. Little Asian girls was checking me out. Look, big strong man, big bag. Let me stop. But the thing about it though is, man, I got the time. I downloaded the YouTube video, but I got to cut the clip out of it from the call from Jay Dizzle. I'm gonna post it up this week, because I was thinking about that shit. That shit was fucking hilarious. Okay. But again, I agree with you, man. Is directly when you're dealing with the immediate family, because that's what you got to care for first and foremost. You have to make sure you set up those the proper situation. Again, like I said, you don't want to be overdoing it. You don't want to underdo it because, like I said, it all compounds into the future. Now, let's kind of extend the reach out a little bit, and I think this is where things get a little different. Now, I'd say let's kind of look at the maybe the grandparents or the older parent situation first before we start talking about, cousins and things, because once you start going in that direction, cousins can get a little sketchy. Aunts and uncles, depending on how people say somebody aunts or aunt here. Aunts and uncles can be a little shady sometimes, depending on, because there's always that kind of, if you better off than your cousins are, that's always the situation. But let's start with the grandparent situation first, maybe, and then we'll kind of spread out to extend it to the other ends of the family. How do you feel about that? Do you find that there is value if you have a grandparent, a great grandparent, or something like that? What value do you find in someone spending time with their parents, if possible?
Well, the thing that I find with that is that when it comes to like your grandparents, just look at it like this: you're going to get old one day, and you're going to want that intellect with others, and a lot of people don't want to spend time with old folks. Or too old folks, they're too old, huh? They don't get it. They ain't hip no more. All that crap. The thing about it like this: when you get older, you're gonna want that. You know what I'm saying? So I think what it is too, like I said before, though, you're still gonna need that knowledge from older people. You know what I'm saying? I say that a lot. You are. And Cavity Creep say, if Granny got a tramp stamp, there's no value. Okay, I don't know where that come from, but okay.
Look. Some folks got a granny with a tramp. Some folks got a 40-year-old granny, because Granny was live at 5 and Mama was live at 5, and so they got 40-year-old granny. Somebody might be fooling around in their damn 30s. No telling, some of these people be getting it in young and starting some new generation. So
I'm sorry, when I read that, I'm like, wait a minute, I had to make sure I read that right. What? But yeah, no, it's just that one of those things that when it comes to like your grandparents, like I said, you're still gonna want that wisdom that they have. They trying to instill into their family before their time is up. And just because you might be in your 30s and grandma might be like 75 or whatever, don't think that you know it all now. Because trust me, you never figure this world out. You just can pass along what you've learned. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And the older people, of course, they learned a lot more, because they're because once, like, when Granny stopped working, you're gonna want some retirement advice, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you might be on your way to stop working, and get ready to retire. Now you're gonna go to Granny and say, Granny, when you retired, how did you manage your money? How did things like that? You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like grandparents, don't think that I ain't finna hang out with this old person. No, trust me, that's the same thing with your kids gonna be thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say don't have that mindset. I'm not gonna lie, I had that mindset until I got a little bit older and I started thinking. I'm like, that's not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? So when you had, excuse me, when Craig Baker said my grandfather was an old gangster. Okay, all right, and put them things. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Grandpa say I'm old, but I'm still put it on you. No, but so when it comes to like your grandparents, think of it like this here. What you think your kids think about you? You know what I'm saying? So it's no different. Just another generation. They'll sit before you and things like that. So don't think they're nothing like that. And like I said, you're gonna get older, and your grandkids might think the same thing about you one day, and then it's gonna make you reflect on, damn, I wish I would have got more understanding from my grandma when she was still here, my grandfather, whatever, So don't be like that. Like I said, I had to learn a lot of these things that I'm talking about myself, and I'm still learning it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I got to figure it out. I'm still learning it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I like to pass along what I've learned. You know what I'm saying? What I figured out. Hopefully that can help somebody else. Like we said in the last day and before we ended it, this is just information that I've learned. And I'm hoping that when I pass it along to these younger people, or even people that's in my same age group, you know what I'm saying, that you might be like, you know what, this person has a point, things like that. So what's going on, Gay? You probably how you feeling. So that's the reason why I wanted to say, when it comes to like with spending time with your family, trust me, that is one of the best things that you can do right now, is to do that, because you just don't know. We talked about it before, and you can walk outside, on your front porch and get hit by a bus, you know what I'm saying? Then your family gonna miss you, you know what I'm saying? If you got kids or whatever, or your girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend, whatever, they're gonna be like, damn, I wish I had a little bit more time. Well, things like that. And you don't want to put that in their heads like that. You want to let them know that the time that you spent together was the most valuable time ever on this earth. It'll be very, very meaningful to them. Things like that. So, and like I said, even with excuse me, even with like your grandma, trust me, go see her, 2 or 3 times a week. I don't know. Everybody's schedule is different. I'm just throwing something out there. Once a week, twice a week, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you can more often, things like that. Because I used to live not even a block away from my grandmother when I lived in Fifth Ward. Like maybe a few houses down the street from her. I used to go see her all the time. You know what I'm saying? Go see her for maybe an hour or so, then go do my own thing. Things like that. Then I admit, when I got a little bit older, that little time that I would go see her kind of dwindled down a little bit, but then it picked back up, because you kind of understand a few things. You know what I'm saying? As you get older, so that's the reason why I stress that a lot. Trust me, you might sound like I'm being ignorant or dumb right now. Trust me, it might sound stupid right now. That's what I meant to say. But once you get a little bit older, I hope that y'all go back and think about this, and I'll be like, dang, that dude was right. So you'll see.
Yeah. Look, Mike strike twice. But like I said, I saw Baker Man mentioned earlier about the old folks got the game, and the thing is, that's that life experience, because ain't nothing new under the sun. The technology might change a little bit, the terminology might change a little bit, but it's all the same shit. As far as from partying, clubbing to being fly. The styles might change a little bit, but the overall value of shit, it is only what you put on it mentally. And so, old folks know they was flashing, flying they day and age. They had the freshest rotary phones, you know what I'm saying? They was stunting in the house, doing all that shit. Girl, yeah, I got the clear rotary, it's that brand new TNT shit. But I'm talking shit. But and again, like all these things, it's nothing new under the sun. And so when we get young, we think we know it all. We think we know everything about life. But from an experienced elder, it's just so much game you can get, and you can avoid a lot of the pitfalls. Even as an older person, you can understand stuff a little bit better, and that's why it's almost better to go, talk to your elders to get that advice and take it wholeheartedly. My thing about America is that, like, we seem to be, because, it's funny. That's why I say America's just so thrown off. Because I saw, Edmund asked earlier about, Americans valuing family time, when he asked you about that earlier. Another thing about Americans is the country of America. We value youth over experience, over wisdom, because there's no wisdom in youth. We look at these young people, and they did something young. That's cool. A lot of them kind of hit something lucky, or they got the game from somebody who was older, and they capitalized on it now, because everything's so much more visual. You can put everything out in people's face nowadays. But the game came from somebody who's been doing this for a long time. And so they've gotten the knowledge from somebody older. But for some reason in this country, we don't value older people. It's all about youth. It's all about stupidity. It's all about the dumb shit, instead of being, okay, hey, in countries like Africa, and I'm sure other countries, but I know, they give props. You're more revered by the older you get. Well, how are you able to stay around so long? Because that's ultimately what it's about. Not how can we be, young, dumb, and fast, crash and burn, But you know, how
Yep.
did you? What things did you do for yourself to stay alive so long? In America, it's like the only place we disrespect old people. Oh, get your old ass out the way. You old motherfucker, get out of here, and and just be honking and running them off the road. You know, people don't really take the time to show any concern for old people these days, and that's unfortunate. You know, I think it's a lot of principles as a country that are backwards. You know, we say that we stand for this and stand for that, but that's not quite true. It's a lot of shenanigans that go on around here, and I think it's an individual basis. Things may be different, but as a country, we idolize all these young people. I mean, you see all the famous people and what's important and what gets promoted and all that other stuff. It's youth. It's stupidity, and so I think. Yeah, we got to get back to that, respecting the elders and taking what they have to say as importance. But at the same time, you don't give them, like Devin said, you don't give them the remote control, because they'll have you going down the same bumpy toe up road. You know what I mean? So they'll try to live through you, vicariously through you. Oh, you should do this, you should do that, and you got to understand where you need to take advice. And then you have to understand where you have to make your own decisions, because there are some slight changes where, you got to make a decision that's going to impact your life. You got to live your life. So, there's certain situations where they can provide you adequate advice to get out of. But then again, there's other situations where, it's a decision that you have to make to decide how you want to live. Now, we're going to keep on talking about it and extending and expanding the range of the family. But I'm going to open up the den line. Mm-hmm. So that way, if y'all got some calls and some things y'all want to call in and say as we continue this discussion, let's make sure everything is as it should be.
Kevin the Creep just typed something up. He said, "Youth oppresses my people and women rule over them." Before I get into that, I want to know, Kevin the Creep, why did you type that up? I think I have an idea, but I don't want to say nothing that ain't true, so I want to get your opinion before I say anything. Call in or type it up here. Let me know why you said that.
I'm saying Isaiah 3:12. Let me jot that to the side.
Yeah, because I know exactly what he's talking about, but I want to make sure before I say anything, because I know exactly what he's talking about with that Bible verse there. Yeah. But yeah, you're right too. You know what I'm saying? You got to live your own life, but don't. This is what I always say. When someone gives me advice, I've learned this over the years. I don't just run with it. I take it into consideration. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that, yeah, you might be right, but is it right for what I'm doing or what I'm not doing or whatever? So take it in consideration when the elders speak, just take it into consideration to try to get people to understand, that. It's like, for example, with anything, you know what I'm saying? Your friends might be telling you, "Man, I saw your girl cheating on you," and stuff like that. A lot of people are like, "What? I'm finna go and, beat this bitch up," all that stuff. Knowing damn well it was a lie and that friend was just trying to get at your girl. Yeah. So I'm saying, that's what I say, take it into consideration. Kevin Creep said, "These kids running shit and women using them for power and control." All right, I got you now. I just wanted to make sure I knew what you were talking about. But yeah, you are right with that, But these kids today, like, I agree with Honcho, when he said that, he kind of opened my eyes a little bit. Now, like I said, I can't really speak on other countries, but I know here in America, we do kind of valueize the youngest. And I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, but I am saying this here. It's like, what can a 15-year-old tell a 40-year-old? It's like, what? It's nothing that you've done or seen that I haven't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you probably got more money than me from your parents or whatever. Yeah, but that's probably about it. You didn't do it. Your parents did, because you're not old enough to do these things. So there's nothing really, that a 15-year-old can tell me. Now, I will say this here, though. A lot of these kids are more technology-based these days, so I probably can get some information that way. But in a life-like thing, I can't really say I would value a child more than an adult. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. And a lot of these people are. And Honcho made a good point earlier when he said there ain't nothing new under the sun. There's a quote that one of my uncles gave me one day, because I was out there doing some crazy stuff and I wondered how my uncle knew what I was doing. And he told me, "The players changed, but the game doesn't." And what that basically means is, what you've done, I've done it.
Yeah.
Just because I've done it 20 years ago doesn't mean that I don't know what the hell you're doing today, which is true. And I tell it to my daughter all the time. I know what you're doing because I've done it. That's how I know. And it didn't work for me either because my mom wasn't stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the fact that I know what you're doing. And, so that's so one of the things that, when it comes to like these young minds, they're still molding. They're still lumps of clay, and they're still molding. And even right now, and I'm 41 years old. Even right now, like I said, I'm still learning these things. I'm still figuring things out. I'm not saying I got it down pat, but I'm still saying, okay, this is what I've learned. Let me and Honcho, try to put it out there. Hopefully this will help someone else, down the line. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. So when my uncle told me that, though, let me get back to that. When my uncle told me that, of course I didn't know what the hell he was talking about, but now that I'm older, I figured it out. It's like what I've done and what I'm trying to do. He's seen it. Yeah, I might have a Bentley right now, knowing they make Bentleys back then. And he had a Cadillac. Don't mean that I I'm saying that I wasn't.
Hold on one second. No, I don't want to cut. Oh well, never mind. It went. I forgot the deadline be a little bit shorter. So whoever that was that called, you can call back. But go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, okay. No. But that doesn't mean that what I'm saying he wasn't fly himself back in the day. You know what I'm saying? We all was. Here's the thing.
All right, hold on real quick. Here we go. We're going to take the call real quick. All right, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
What's going on, Honcho? What's going on, man? This is Rapid.
How are you doing this evening, Rapid? What you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
I wanted to speak on family time. Family time is fucking important. Like if you don't think that's important, I don't know what you do with your life. But family time is like to spend time with your family is like one thing. But if it's like for a special event, you can be with friends and family like at the shit at school. But when you're with when you're with your friends, they're just your friends. They're not related to you. But when you're with your cousins and your tios and your tias and all that kind of shit, it's a whole lot different.
And you have just definitely confirmed your Hispanic heritage with your tios and your tias. That it flowed so smoothly. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, man. I definitely agree with you because your family is your blood. As much as I got family though that I can't stand because you do have some crooked ass family. I mean, that is true. But you do have good family, and ultimately they should care for you. And you, yes, sir.
I'm gonna have to cut this short because I only have like limited time because I got arrested. But love you, Honcho. Love you too, man up, and keep up the good work.
All right, well that's a bit, Rabbit.
Appreciate that.
Don't get arrested. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I hope you're saying get some rest and not getting arrested. That would be bad.
I thought he said get some rest. Okay. That's what I thought he said.
Yeah, because I'm saying if you on the running from the police while you calling into the den line, that might be a bad situation. Like put Officer Jackson on the phone. What's going on? Let my man make it, goddamn. But,
wow. I think he said get some rest. Well, that's what I think he said. Okay.
Well, that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna go with get some rest.
But yeah, he got me laughing at you now. I forgot what I'm gonna say. Oh, but no, he made a good point there. Spending the family time, that is damn important. And because excuse me, when it comes to like spending with your friends, that's cool too. Don't get me wrong, that's cool. But spending with family, it's just a better meaning feeling. You know what I'm saying? It just feels a lot better when you go out with your family, cousins, someone you ain't seen. Hey man, what's going on? How you feel? Especially those ones that you're cool with, because we all have those family members that we wish we would never been related to. I just call it what it is. It's the truth. We all have that, whether you want to admit it or not. We all do. But when it comes to like spending with the family, it's like, I don't know, it's just a better feeling. I guess can't put it into words, but it just feels better. Like if you go and see your auntie you ain't talked to in a while, seen in a while, you know what I'm saying, your cousin, you know, that you was real close to, you grew up with, and y'all lost touch for a minute, then all of a sudden y'all find each other on Facebook or wherever, and or run to each other in the store or something. You're like, what the, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a better overwhelming feeling, you know what I'm saying, than with your friends who you might see every day at work or, you know, whatever, you know, forget all that, you know what I'm saying? It's just that with that, it's just like, wow, that's, you know, I don't know, I just can't put it into words, but it's a better feeling with that than my friends who I love dearly. You know, I got some good friends that I'm cool with, you know, so I do look at them as family. But, you know what I'm saying, but your real family, you know, it's that, excuse me, is that's one thing that you'll never get back from them, especially the close family. Then also it works out into your extended family too as well.
Muting myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna keep it right. But yeah, I agree, man. Like I put the thing, you know, it's always some of those close family, you know, that one cousin that you go to the store with on Thanksgiving, you know, y'all may go ride, go smoke and chop it up. I mean, you know, used to have one like that, but I don't fool with none of them motherfuckers. But you know, that was then, this is now. But, you know, it's good again, because like I said, that's your bloodline. You know, it is what it is, and that's just, you know, the fact that you guys or that family you have certain things in common, and I think that's what should make the bond strong. But you'll be surprised though. You know, they say, you know, blood is thicker than water. Who was that line from? You know, blood is thicker than water. Well, how thick is your blood? Because sometimes some of these motherfuckers looking like some real thin blooded. Some of these motherfuckers is what's the word, anemic or something, because this shit is just, you know, motherfuckers do each other dirty all the time. And the fucked up part about it is, you know, when you see the more immediate family that does each other bad, but that extended family is even, I mean, I won't say even worse, but it's just as bad, because you would think because we related. Now, something I was kind of alluding to earlier is you got to be careful with some of those, because depending on, you know, what kind of cousins you got. If you got one of the cousins who, if you were the cousin that had the broke parents, or if you were the cousin that had the parents who had a little money, and you had envious cousins because their parents ain't had no money. I mean, you have all kind of little envies that run throughout the family, and you know, y'all may still be close, but it'll be little shots here and there, little things going on, and that, you know, you got to be careful of, because even though you are family, there still are certain things that are just human nature, and you have to. You have to, you know, just be careful of. And then you're talking about friends, you know, and it's unfortunate, because I think at this point, like I say, you know, I only count, like I could probably count on one hand how many, you know, actual close personal friends that I have that I've been having for, you know, so many years. And the thing about it is, like, I'm closer with them than I am with family. Like, I had to cut off a lot of family. You know, I talked about previous and past situations when I had to make some changes in my life, and you know, I had to cut off a lot of family because it was family. Like, I was down bad. Like, so I was down bad. And, you know, this dude here had a job, but because, you know, he wanted to get into some shenanigans and stuff, you know, he got kind of kicked out of his location. Still had a job where he could afford to do his own thing or whatever now. But instead, he chose to just, you know, sleep in the car and was doing some other shit. So like I said, I was down bad myself, but you know, if I was eating, I split my food with the motherfucker. If I was doing this, that, and the third, I would make sure he was taken care of. Like, you in a better position to be. You actually have a job. I ain't got had shit shaking at that time. But then as soon as he got a little opportunity to kind of get his feet back stabilized, I mean, that motherfucker disappeared, you know, without a second thought, you know what I mean? And just, you know, I call him and say, hey, kinfolk, you know, yada, 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 you know, you could do this for your boy. Oh, man, what is it? You know, how, you know, just like it became a burden. But it wasn't a burden, you know, when I'm breaking off everything I got, the little I had going at the time. You had no problem accepting it. You had no problem taking the shit. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you got food to take to work with you and shit like that. You know, cutting myself short to make sure you all right, shit like that. And so, like I said, I had to just take a step back and realize, okay, that's how motherfuckers is. Well, I ain't really tripping on it now, you know, and that's why I say You know, him and his brother were the same way. So it's just like shit. I'm good. You know, I mean, I have to realize what type of family I have, but shit, then I kind of step back and I look at my uncle, they pops, and I'm just like, shit, he the same way. He a shady motherfucker. You know what I mean? So you try to use you for what he can get at you. You know, but then when he come up and got something going, you know, he act like he just, oh, you know, well, man, you know, oh, man, you know, they come the flood of excuses. So I like say, you know what, I ain't even mad at y'all. I just don't fuck with y'all because I'd be the fool to even keep entertaining the nonsense, you know. And, you know, when situations turn and things are a little bit different, I just ain't got nothing for you, man. That's all it is. It ain't no hard feelings. It just ain't no feelings, you know. I'm just not going to associate with the nonsense. And that's the crazy part about it. But,
oh, okay, my bad. I thought you were done. And that's another thing I was gonna get into a little bit later. Another reason why I think spending family time is important. So that way, when you get a little bit older and you start going through some things in your life, not to say cut people off. I mean, but not everybody, just because they're family, but not everybody is going to be right with your situation and things your goals that you're trying to have in life. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like I said, like we talked about plenty of times before. Look at what's his name? Chris Voss. Look what his mom did to him. I'm pretty sure y'all heard the story. If you haven't, I'll tell you. His mom got caught selling drugs out of his house while he was on the road playing the game. And it's like, and because that's his house, you know, the police come looking at him, trying to investigate him, see what he's doing. And he wasn't even doing anything. So why would you want that negative tension on you? Especially, you know, you playing in like the NBA, NFL, and all that. You know, they ain't gonna play that crap. So even though he didn't do anything to it, why would you want to jeopardize your life, your career with your kids and stuff like that? So that's another. I was going to get into that too. That's another reason why I think spending family time is good on a couple of different levels. You want to make sure what you're trying to do in your life, is it cool to bring all your family along for the ride? It's cool just to bring a couple of cousins or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. And don't let no one manipulate you. Oh man, like you just said, oh man, we family, man. We've been down since day one. Who had your back when you know all that crap? Now, sometimes you gotta say, you know what? I see that you only want to call me when spending money or giving money is involved. You're not calling me just to say, hey, how you doing, man? How's your day? Did you see that game on TV or whatever and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? If they're not doing anything of that nature, then you know what's right for your situation and things like that. Because like Honcho, I had to cut off some family. You know what I'm saying? That always was, hey, can I come stay with you? You know, hey, let me borrow a few dollars here. Things like that. I had to cut that out. Look, no, no. And I'm not going to lie. I felt bad about it at first. You know, I really did. But I had to say, no. Because guess what? I got a little girl in the house. You think I want to see that? I got things that I'm trying to accomplish. And I see that when I'm trying to go, I don't need nobody dragging me down. And so things like that. So, no. So I'm saying, so I can't do that. And, excuse me. And I kind of want to go ahead and get into like the friends that we call family. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that I say you got to be careful about us too as well. Like I said, that can go both ways. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. Everybody's situation is different, but you know, it depends on how you look at it, on what you're trying to do and you know who these people are and what their mindset is at. So it just really depends. Because I've had some friends, you know, like I told you before, that friend that died of cancer. You know, man, when I met him, I want to say I was like 6 years old or something like that, and we were boys for a long time. It got to the point where we hung out so much, man, we could finish each other's sentences. You know what I'm saying? If I can look at him, he said, "Oh, you want to go to the store and get some cookies?" I'm like, "Damn, how he knew that?" You know what I'm saying? Just by looking at him, you know, that's how close we was. Things like that. And I know that sounds weird me saying it like that, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? We all had those friends like that. But and that's why I say so some of those friends, you know, are cool. But then you got those ones that you grew up with, you know what I'm saying, in your hood, you go to school with, whatever. And as soon as they see that you doing something, hey, man, you know, they want to hang on your coattail just like I was talking about with your family. So that's why I say when it comes to like spending this time, it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. In a couple of different ways, it's a good thing to know that what I'm ready to try to achieve, what I want to achieve in my life, is it good for me, for me to help you out, bring you along with the ride, or is it good for me to just say, peace, I'm gone, leave you back? And like I said, it's gonna feel messed up in the beginning when you first do it. If you have to let them go, it's gonna feel bad. It might weigh on your shoulders for a while, but once you get over and you start to think about it, you know what, I'm glad I left that person alone. Or, what I'm saying, oh, I'm glad me and this person, we did it together, things like that. So it just all depends on that person. That's why I say when you're spending this time with people, it's not just saying, when I say spending family time, it's not just your immediate family. It's not just extended family. It's your friends who you call family. And it's also a good thing because you want to keep an open dialogue about everything. And then it's also a good thing. So, you just never know. Let's just say tomorrow you hit the lottery. I'm just throwing an example out there. Let's just say tomorrow you hit the lottery. And, it's a couple of million, whatever. And you start doing things, in life. You go buy your car, buy your house, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going to find out who your true people is. You know what I'm saying? When money comes around. Your true people is going to be like, hey, save that money. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Invest that money. Start a business. Things like that. Or people is going to be like, if I hit the lottery, Honcho, I can get I think crazy. But yeah, I just saw that. I was like, uh-oh, Hunter, he got you. But yeah, like I'm just saying, the real people be like, hey, man, don't go spend your money all crazy like that. Save it, invest it. You ain't gonna be able to work forever. What else? Things like that. They got your back. You know what I'm saying? They gonna look out for you. They gonna say, hey, man, don't do that. Things like that. The ones that don't really care about you, they just in it for the ride. They be like, hey, man, let's go hit this party. Hey, man, buy me this. Can you give me this? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then if you don't do it, then like, oh man, I thought we were boys. Stuff like that. No. So that's why I say when it comes to spending like that time, it kind of helps you understand a lot more. It can help you learn in a bunch of different ways. So it's not just one of those things where we're saying take advice from the old folks or things like that. No, it's more like you know exactly can be what can be added in your life and your goals and your ambitions and things like that. I mean, it's a whole bunch of different things. Who used to say this all the time? I forgot who it was, but it was this one comedian. If I'm not mistaken, probably was Dave Chappelle. Probably I forget exactly, but he was always. God, dog, just dropped my pen. He was always say, because I was finna try to write something down, but I just dropped my pen. Oh well. He was always say that he had to let some family go for a bunch of different reasons. Because of things that he started doing. And it's true, and I'm not trying to make it seem like it's a bad thing or a negative Nancy, but it's kind of a positive thing because if you don't learn these things, it can hinder you in the long run. So that's the reason. Another reason why spending family time is important. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With kids, it's a whole different ball game, but when adults, it can go multiple different ways. So it's just one of those things that we have to figure out who's best for us. Sometimes that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I mean, you only have your life, and you have to decide, what's the best move for you moving forward. And that's what I say, man. Like, I've been talking about how I've been on the meditation kick and things like that. And like I said, I have a mental plan. Like I rehash over things, even though I've gotten to the point where I'm trying to learn to embrace that. They say you're supposed to embrace that love, have love for everybody. So I'm trying not to be, as judgmental and things like that. But I have to be realistic in certain situations too. You know, otherwise I'm putting myself in a position of detriment because, you know, if I walk back in that same scenario, hey, I got love for everybody, you know, all that don't matter, forgive and forget and let it happen again, that would be foolish, you know. I'd be setting myself up for, like Kenneth was trying to say, the okey doke. But like I said, I have in my mind, there's only going to be a certain number of people who I fuck with who have been with me, you know, when shit was up, who was fucking with me when shit was down, you know what I'm saying, and getting back to, and you know, here and there. But everybody else, man, look, I see you, Honcho, I see you too from way over there, you know what I'm saying. Look, you stay over there. No, I'm not saying come on, you stay over there, you know what I'm saying. It's cool, you know. You know, it's like I say, it's just, it's real funny, you know what I mean? Because I've had people, you know, even from just fooling with the den and some of the things. Oh man, hey, what's good? You know, this. But when I was going through it, you know, I've never heard from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though, man, you all right, you good. Like, I ain't asking you for nothing, you know, but, you know, check on your partner well-being, you know, make sure, you know, nigga ain't over the edge or something. But shit, you don't even get that now. You know, they see you got a couple of people looking at you or you got this going on or whatever. And like I said, to me still, it's not even anything major. You know what I'm saying? That's just, we building our own, you know, little community that we speaking our own way. We doing our own things. But it's not on the level of, you know, something like that you would say is just major, like on this platform or whatever. But people see you doing a little something, you know, and now you kind of getting back up out the mud, and it's just a whole different reaction, you know. And now it's all this concern. Oh, I see you, yeah, but you seen me then, but you ain't have nothing to say, you know. It's on that. It was like if I was on the side of the road and it was raining, you speed by, make sure you get hit the shoulder a little bit, splash a little bit of extra mud on me, splash a little extra water on me, like they do in the cartoons. Look in the rear view, make did I get that nigga? Hold on, let me bust a U-turn and let me swing on him again, you know. But now it's as we ride in the same lane, you pulling up on side. Oh, what's good? Hey, no, it's all good, man. Keep rolling like you used to roll, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I have, like I say, you know, when they say you got to formulate, you got to manifest a plan, you got to manifest it down to the detail. Like I say, I've manifested the circle that I want in my life. You know, the people who were there and things of that nature. There ain't no way certain folks will ever have a chance to get back in the picture. Like I say, it's no hate, because I'm, you know, when you hold that hate in your heart, that's burdening you down. So it's not hate. They can't help who they are. They are who they are. I'm aware of who they are, and I feel bad for them. I don't hate them, but they cannot be a part of my life, you know, because they're not going to bring me down. That's just the way I see it, you know.
Yeah. And who I was talking about earlier was Will Smith. He said, if you wasn't there during my struggles, you're not going to be present during my success. Yeah. That's what I was thinking about.
Man, Will Smith got a lot of good game. A lot of good game.
Yeah, and you're right, man, because the thing is this here, man. Look, you do you and I do me. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing, too. A lot of people sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you have these good friends. You know what I'm saying? While y'all kids, y'all click, y'all bond, y'all know each other. But sometimes when you become an adult, it's even like that with family. Sometimes when you become an adult, y'all can just drift apart for some strange reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things, too. You know what I'm saying? It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes, you know, people just drift apart, you know, and when you had the open dialogue, I mean, like I said, even with my wife, you know what I'm saying, we always come to each other. Like sometimes, like me and my wife been together so long, we can kind of get a notion that something ain't right with each other. Even though we probably ain't said nothing to each other, probably sitting there, we're just watching TV. She'll come downstairs and she'll look at me, she'll like, what's wrong with you? And what do you mean? That face you making, what's wrong? And I'll be like, yeah, I just had a bad day at work. You know, something like that. And I ain't said nothing all day, but she could tell. And I do the same thing with her, and she'd be sitting there, playing a game on her phone or something, be like, you straight? You know, things like that. So it just, you know, another thing when you want to spend that time, so especially with family, with close family, that way, you know what I'm saying, you can get a feel for what's going on, you know what I'm saying, in your surroundings and in your close circle and things like that. So it's just a whole bunch of different other things. And things like that. And I see Jay Bird talking some trash right there to you, Honcho.
Yeah, I don't know Jay Bird. Jay Bird is Gertrude. That's all I know. Jay Bird and Gertrude. Jay Bird is he's a trans account. Hold on, we got a call coming in on the den line. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
It's Edmund.
Edmund, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What do you want to drop in the den tonight?
First of all, I want to say to Jay Bird, fuck you. Go back to your beaners in your high school. Fuck, I can't.
Well, all right then.
Let him have it.
Fucking tranny. All right. Anyway, I
Wow.
wanted to ask Man Up, do you believe that the due to teenagers having kids, is that you think that's part of the issue of family time? Do you think having kids at an early age affects traditional family values?
You know what? Before I answer your question, I want to say, hey, man, you asked a lot of good questions, and I appreciate that. Keep that coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Honcho do too. I can't speak for him, but, keep that coming because you asked a lot of good questions. Now, to answer your question, you said, do I think kids having kids young, kids having kids, does that equate to family time? It can go both ways because sometimes you could say spending no family time, that kids not learning anything, so they go and do whatever. And then sometimes kids, can get all the family time in the world and still do crazy stuff. So it can go both ways. It's just really that mindset, that people will have with their kids or them kids have themselves that, And then a lot of times, it can be peer pressure, things like that. It might not be family time, So it can't. So when we all say that, these kids out there, they got horrible parents, it's not always the parents. It's just sometimes just making bad decisions in life. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it can go both ways, things like that. So hopefully that answers the question.
Okay. Did that give you a valid answer, Edmund?
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate that. I definitely do agree that Edmund does come with the good question. See, this is my thing. This is what I think about Edmund. Edmund is very calculated. Okay, people think that Edmund just be saying some shit. Edmund is calculated in his questioning because even even in the sauce when he's saying particular things, I think Edmund knows who he's referring to in certain situations, and I think he calculates his questions to get the appropriate feedback that he wants to see. So but I appreciate the calls, Edmund, because you do always ask very good questions here, and I do appreciate you holding down the den line. So thank you for the call.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you for hanging up. But it's all good. I know sometimes the audio can be hard to hear from. I don't know if some people listen to the chat so they hear from the chat, or more people hear from the phone, or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Anybody else got some questions? While we up here, call in. Ask. That's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? Ask some questions. I answer to my best ability, and so I'm pretty sure Honcho would too.
Yeah.
Come on in.
But I do agree with that. Having the youth, and again, when you're talking about kids having kids, if they don't have an understanding of life, how can you pass on that understanding of life? And that's why I say sometimes, look, you little youngsters better go and get your robo-hoe, or you could be stuck with a real kid. So until you're ready, look, they realistic enough and see it. Some of these robo-hoes probably be better than anything y'all can pull anyway. So, just take the lesser of two evils.
And let me clarify something real quick here, because I think that what a lot of people want to say, like I was just saying, a lot of people want to say when you're doing stuff, it's the parents, they got some punk ass parents, some weak parents, then parents need to get on, blah, blah, blah. A lot of times they can be true. I'm not saying that it's not, but I think we just need to stop saying it's the parents. Because think about when you was a kid, Honcho. You did some crazy stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
That your mom, your dad would not approve of.
Yeah.
They will whoop your ass right now.
Well, yeah, exactly. They find out now they whoop my ass as a grown ass man. You did what in my house, boy? You were doing what in the streets, boy?
Yeah, see, that's why I say, because I know, like I said, I did some stuff my mom don't know I did. So, and I know if I told her she's only 5 feet right now. She's only 5 feet tall, and she would chase my ass down and whoop the crap out of me. She found out I did some things. So that's what I'm saying. So I think a lot of people need to stop saying that, because it's not always the truth. Yeah, a lot of times it is. I'm not saying it's not. But that's always people's first reaction Or the parents they ain't raised right and stuff like that. No, that's not true. That's not true. Well, I ain't gonna say it's not true. It's not completely true, I should say. But like I just said, well, I've done some stupid things. My mom don't even know about it to this day, and I'm a grown man, out on my own, doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say we need to stop that.
Yeah, no, I can definitely agree with that, because I'm just thinking about, as you were saying it, I'm typing in the chat, I'm thinking about a couple of other situations from some of the shenanigans that I got into with people that I know who had both parents that had good jobs, that were, were very good at raising their children right, raise their daughters right, until I got a hold of them. And, so, I mean, sometimes, that outside influence can be. So I'm just saying, and that's why I say you can't always shelter the kids. You just got to give them the advice and give them the understanding, because I know that's probably why I'm afraid to have any biologicals of my own, because I know I'll fool around and have a little girl, and that's why I say I'll be trying to warn this one as it is, and I would get accosted for all the sins that I committed as a youth. So
I know I go through that to myself. I'm like, I'm basically protecting my little girl from what I was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older and I'm seeing the same thing that these dads used to act like when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically protecting my daughter from me.
Yeah. But the good thing is knowing how you was, is knowing so you had a game to do it. The unfortunate thing is it's a lot of these dudes that was on some sucker shit, and they don't know how to protect their daughters from that, and they almost setting them up. I see some old friends and things that I've had on Instagram or on on Facebook in previous years, and the way they raise their children, I'm like, man, you setting your kids up for failure, because it's another dude that probably got a little son or a little whatever, and I know that he was running through this, that, and the third, and he probably gonna teach his son how to do the same. And the way you setting your child up, you're gonna be a victim, and I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth, man. So because if you can't see it, if you ain't got the game to prevent it, then I mean, shit, it is what it is. So
I got one for you. This one's kind of a crazy story. It just popped in my head when you were saying that. I want to say it's a few months ago. I saw one online with this girl. Well, she was with her son in her car. She recorded something on whatever on social media is, and her son, her little boy, I think he's like 5, 6 years old. I mean, he was cursing like he was a grown man. Like, bitch, suck my dick, shut the fuck up, so I stick my dick in your mouth, stuff like that. I mean, he was going off. And the mom was just sitting there recording, just laughing. I saw it on YouTube, and I was like, are you serious, dude? Wow. I mean, she was just going off, and she's like, she thought it was funny. I'm like, now, when that boy get older, and he started disrespecting women, the first thing I heard her mouth was going to be like, I ain't raised you to be like that. I ain't raised you. I'm like, it kind of is, because ain't no way in hell I would let my daughter talk like that. She could be like, she could say right now, she'd be like, oh, heck. And I'm like, well, watch your mouth. So, something simple as that, I'd be like, watch your mouth. She's like, that's not a bad word. I said, no, but it's an adult word, something you shouldn't be saying. Yeah. Watch your mouth. Something like that. So, I guess you could say, yeah. But yeah, it's things like that. It's like, that's why I say, when it comes to spending like that family time, it got to be good value time, valuable time. Not, letting your kid, like, I forgot who that was that called in the last time we did a stream, trying to be their kids' friends. Well, no, that's not your job as a parent. Your job as a parent is to guide them on a straight and narrow path. Now, it's not going to always be straight and narrow, of course not, but that's your job as a parent. And when I watched it, when I saw that, I was like, seriously? Wow. Ain't no way in hell. Because sometimes when these streams are over, sometimes I go back and watch them. My daughter can walk in the room, and I'll be like, and I'll stop it, and I'm like, what you want? Because I know we be saying some things that not child appropriate.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want her watching that, right now. No, of course when she gets older, yeah, of course. But right now, no. Because it's not kid appropriate. No, I don't want her taking these things back to school, saying this and that, and then here they all calling me up and stuff. So, so that's why I say, when it's kind of like spending this family time, it got to make sure it's valuable time, not valuable time in your favor, the kids' favor, valuable time in everybody's favor. Everybody, the whole entire family. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's your close family, your extended family, or friends that you call family, or whatever. Make sure it's valuable time that, you know, everybody walk away with something positive. You know what I'm saying? We always want to end on a positive note in this world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to be mad at, you know, whoever. Then something happened to where you can't say, "Oh, I'm sorry," you know what I'm saying, or talk or hash it out, whatever. You know, try to end it on a positive note. For example, you know, like I said, me and my wife, we have our disagreements at times, you know. And I went and bought a little plaque that I put over our bed. It says, "Always kiss me goodnight." Yeah. And that's what me and my wife do. Every time we always give each other a kiss goodnight. You know, we could be mad at each other. You know, we still kiss goodnight. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, things like that. So it's just one of those things that, you know, we, you know, need to figure out, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, when me and my family go out to eat, it's not just what I want, not what my wife wants, not what my daughter wants. It's a mutual ground. Mm-hmm. So that way, you know, we all feel comfortable with each other and all feel comfortable being around each other. We all feel comfortable talking, things like that. So I think with the family time, well, spending time period, needs to be of value. You know what I'm saying? Needs to be uplifted, up-spirited, you know what I'm saying? To help all of us grow as a people on this earth.
Okay. Now, something you mentioned, and then I want to kind of discuss this a little bit, and we'll probably wrap it up after this. You were talking about the chick and the kid, and he on social media cussing and doing all that other stuff. And it just kind of got me thinking about social media, period. You know, the overall impact of social media on family time. And, you know, should people, you know, really be removing the social media from family time? I know people like to say, "Oh, you know, add your mama on Facebook, add you this, that, and the other." Like, to me, people will think that justifies some type of family because they sharing this and sharing that with their significant others, but it's not actually spending time with one another. And some people are trying to substitute that with that. What do you think the impact of that is, and what should be done about, you know, situations like that?
Yeah, I think, matter of fact, let me just say this here. Like, when me and my friend go out, of course, my daughter's on the age, she growing up around nothing but technology. I always tell her, leave that in the car. I mean, yeah, you can have it while we're in the car on the way. I would say, leave that in the car. This is time for us to talk. You know what I'm saying? Or for us to figure out what's going on. And we'll crack jokes about each other, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. I think that stuff needs to be put to the side for the moment. You know what I'm saying? That's going to always be there. Technology is always evolving. I mean, for example, look at the cell phone. Technology always evolved. You remember that when the first cell phone first came out, it was a car phone back in the 70s. Mm-hmm. Then when it was a mobile phone, it was that big old brick that was on the side of your ear.
Yeah, talking on a VCR.
Yeah. Basically. Now look at it. So my point in saying all that is that technology is going to always evolve. Always. So we as a people need to put that down. Like I just said, spend some valuable time. Hey, yeah, you want to add your mom on Facebook or social media, whatever. Yeah, do that when you know, on your own time, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And like I said, me personally, I don't do social media. You know, if you want to call YouTube social media, then yeah, but I don't do social media, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really, I'm not knocking it in a bad way like that. I'm just saying it's not for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's for me. You know, but other than that, you know, the only kind of social media I guess you could say I do is YouTube or text messaging. Other than that, that's it. Because I know how to spend that time with someone. I know how to call you up. Mm-hmm. Be like, you know, what's going on? I'd rather hear your voice. You know what I'm saying? If I'm cool with you like that, I'd rather hear your voice or see you in person to get a feel for you than reading some words on the screen. For example, if I could say, "Hey, how you doing?" on a text message, you could think I'm, you know, being legit. Yeah. But my tone of voice would be like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, like you be like, "The hell's your problem?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm saying "sir" don't mean I'm being polite. You know what I'm saying? If you read that, you be like, "Oh, what's going on? How you doing?" I'm really being sarcastic. So that's why I say that social media stuff Nah, I'm cool with that. So that's just not for me. Things like that. And I know where I stand with that. And I think a lot of people need to put that down. And kind of speaking on that a little bit, what's funny is leaving at my house a couple of days ago, I was taking my daughter somewhere. I forgot what I was taking her. But it was this girl that was crossing the street. There was a car in front of me, and this girl was crossing the street. Now, it would have been this car's fault, but she almost got hit because that car didn't stop in time. Mm-hmm. And I thought she walked across the street. I was on the phone. Didn't even look. I'm like, that's a damn shame. You can't put that thing down just to watch where these cars are coming from, just in case you get hit. Yeah. You could avoid that and stuff like that. But she's just like,
people with that pedestrian, they feel like, oh, I'm a pedestrian. I got the right of way anyway. And okay, yeah, you can feel that way till you feel that bump up your ass. I mean, you feel whatever you want to feel. I mean, it's just that shit don't make no sense. I think they made it a law in Hawaii where you can't cross the street looking down on your phone like that. I think you basically got to have that motherfucker in your pocket or something like that. But I mean, you have to protect people from themselves because there's so many incidents of shit like that happening. You got to protect people. Like, I can't tell you how many times and I know it's supposed to be illegal to be texting and driving. I can't tell you how many times I've been sliding up and down the highway from, 59, 45, 610, don't matter which one it is. And you see somebody driving slow and they ain't next to you in the left lane or something. You're trying to get over past somebody, something. And I just, I'm always looking at I look at people, and just be like, what the fuck is you doing? And I'm like, let me go. And I'm not even finna look at you. I'm finna mash on because your ass about to swerve and crash in just a second. Motherfuckers be like, and it never fails. You're gonna see 2 or 3 of them just on the freeway. Saying, man, no, not me. I don't care how slick you think you is. I don't care if you think you're doing it this every couple of seconds. That shit ain't helping either, because that couple of seconds you don't look is when you boom, and then you got a problem. Nope. You look, but I was in, butt your ass to jail or something. Butt your ass and pay that ticket. Butt your ass pay that insurance. But again, it's the craziest shit, man. It's the
oh my bad. And this is one more thing I want to say before we get out of here. With that, a lot of people don't understand. On their phones, you can either download it, and I know Samsung phones come with this app. It's either called Drive Mode or Car Mode, something like that. Mm-hmm. You could set that up, and guess what? You could talk to your phone could talk to you. Mm-hmm. You ain't while you're driving. No. You ain't even got to touch it. You keep your eyes on the road. You just talk to it. Yeah, the person next to you might think you're talking to yourself, but hey, at least you're okay.
Exactly. At least you ain't running.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, for real? These kids can't even put that down just to watch their surroundings. Mm-hmm. Somebody could just walk up on you, snatch you, and you won't even know it.
And that's what I'm saying. People just be oblivious that they be so lost in it. And it be sometimes I be having to look at my old lady because sometimes she'll get so lost. And I mean, I'll sit there and say, hey, yada, 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 yada. And she'll be and got caught up on something, but she didn't. I think she reached to stop fooling with a bunch of social medias and stuff. Because I was kind of pointing out to her, I'm like, man, you getting all lost into that shit. And I had to be like, hey, did you just hear what I said? Like, I'm just telling you, something I got to repeat myself, what? I'm like, so what the fuck was so important that you was just looking at? And it really wasn't all that, it is you're trying to. You be doing it when you watching the game or something. I say, man, ask me anything. I will be able to recite exactly what you said, answer it, clarify it, because I don't do that. You be trying to pull me with that, but I hear you. I may not want to respond to you in the moment because I'm focused on something else, but I hear what you're saying. I don't have to snap you out of a whole nother zone. Huh? What? And that type of shit right there, you know what I'm saying? Man. It's ridiculous. Like, come on now. It's cool, but it ain't that damn cool. At this point, I'm really trying to step back from it, but at the same time, I know I need to utilize it to bring more attention to like the Den and soft sports and things like that, because I know YouTube ain't gonna show the love, so I'm gonna have to get on the grind and bring eyes to the platform. So that's what I'm kind of learning how to do better at now. I really just ain't too much on the whole, I just want to do this shit for fun. Let me do some of this just to enjoy myself. Like, I don't really get that much enjoyment. I hate reading comments because people just say any dumb shit in the comments. Anybody have a somewhat viral post, it could be the most positive shit ever. Here comes somebody, well, this one time something negative happened in a similar situation. You're going to find that one fucking outlier just to try to make a point. People just, the little shit like that, I hate, like, well, it take you and your fucked up ass situation on to go start your own goddamn post. So all the people who want to cry and complain about some shit can go cry on your goddamn post. Like, people always want to rain on somebody else's parade. Like, people just want to find a reason to hate, and that's just because motherfuckers be unhappy with their life. But if they spent more family time, they wouldn't be having those problems. They wouldn't be worried about what other people do online. It's been a time. Look, I always got to bring it full circle.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, you know what? Let me end it by saying this here. I know I talk bad about social media a lot, and I know there is some good use for it. You know, don't get me wrong. People start businesses that way. People, you know, can reconnect with long lost family and friends that they haven't seen in a long time that they, you know, miss. Things like that. So, and I know that it is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. It's just that you see more negativity with it than positive, and it kind of overwhelms your thought process with it. You know what I'm saying? So let me just put that out there to people. I'm not really always bad about social media. I don't do no social media at all. But because it's not for me, you know, and I know that, and I'm not trying to make it for me. But and like I said, I just want to put that out there. I'm not knocking those that do social media. Don't get me wrong. It's just that, like I said, you see more bad stuff with it than good. Because there's been plenty of times to where I see somebody that got a Facebook account. You know, you scroll on the people that they friends with and people they know or whatever on Facebook or whatever, and you might click on one of their Facebook friends, and their Facebook friend is showing everything that they working with, and you're like, what the hell? You know, things like that. So you see a lot of negative stuff, and it kind of overwhelms your thought process with the positive stuff. So, and I think that's crazy, but you know, it is what it is. So. And like I said, I know there's some good things out there with it. You know what I'm saying? So let me just put that out there. I don't hate social media, y'all. So don't say man up as a social media hater.
Man, no, I wouldn't blame you if you did, man. Because like I say, I really had to go back and because I was just kind of halfway. Like I had to separate my, you know, I won't say my personal account because I feel to kind of work something different with that. But from the Sauce Sports, then from the Den, because I kind of had them all. They were kind of crossing over a little bit. But I'm just like, you know what? It's too much going on. I'm looking at a lot of the same stuff on some of these, so I started unfollowing a bunch of people. Like, you know, on my head Honcho, I kind of follow people who fuck with the Sauce and fuck with you know, Sauce Sports or the Den or whatever. That's kind of where I follow people back. But like, and I follow a bunch of, you know, positive people. So I follow, you know, who I've been following, like Bob Proctor, you know, Tony Robbins, this guy named Tom Bilyeu, he's pretty good. What's the other dude's name? Napoleon Hill. It's like a little Napoleon Hill quotes, little positive type stuff, you know. So I'll kind of fool with that. So like I said, if I want to see some motivational type things, I'll look at that account. You know, if I got the Sauce Sports, is all sports related stuff, so I know what I'm getting into, you know, on each one. So I just started eliminating all that other bullshit, you know, because otherwise, I'm just, man, this is stupid shit. Because I used to follow some little like local rappers and just stuff like that. I used to kind of enjoy, but the more I see it, it's like the less and less I enjoy shit. The more I'm like, man, these motherfuckers dumb as shit, you know. And you know, it really ain't no merit to it. And so for me to just kind of keep my belief in them that I have had or enjoying their music or whatever it may be, I just like, you know what, I'm not gonna follow you on social media because it's not a good look for you. So I'm just going, you know, do my thing. And then, like I say, the Den, I need to follow some more stuff on it, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to follow on the Den. I kind of want to start maybe looking at other different shows that are doing like a similar thing and just kind of paying attention to what they're doing more so. But I don't necessarily have a specific follow on that, but we'll figure it all out. But yeah, man, you got anything you want to say before we slide up out of here, Mr. Man Up?
I appreciate it, man. I've been sitting up here yawning myself off. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little bit tired, but I appreciate everybody for joining in. I appreciate the few calls, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you again, Ed Honcho, you know, for you know, having me on. And once again, I do want to say congratulations to you with the Sauce Sports. You and Wink, y'all are doing it big. Y'all keep it up, man. This is just a small stepping stone for something huge to come. I hope the Den and the Sauce Sports become a big thing for you. Man, you know, keep it up what you're doing.
I sincerely appreciate that, man. I sincerely do. Trust me, look, if the Den blow up, you're going to blow up. You're going to be slanging cookies all over the map because they're going to be, when is Man Up Day? Look, we're going to promote the shit out them cookies. We're going to have you trapping. Mr. Cookie Man. What a Cookie Man. I remember in high school, it used to be, I want to say, was it Thursdays and Fridays or Fridays? But they used to come with them Otis Spunkenmeyer cookies, and them hoes used to be good as shit. And they come to the door, cookies. And man, I used to be buying the shit up out. I had a homeboy. When I say this dude was the funniest dude, he's still funny as shit now, you know. But he spends plenty of family time. He's a hard working man now. But Man, this dude used to just be skipping class, doing all kind of random stuff. So, like, you know, the older Spunkenmeyer people, they would go from door to door and they just knock on the door. Cookies, you know, you get up, go buy you some cookies till they sell out. So this dude would, like, first he started off going, like, to the door. He wasn't part of the little Spunkenmeyer people. He would just knock on the door, cookies, and people just be getting out their seats. And he just laugh at them, ah, and then he shut the door and go off to another class, you know, because he's skipping class. Then he'll start knocking on doors, milk. People still getting up. Ain't nobody selling no damn door-to-door milk in the school. He'd just say some random ass shit, and people would always get up, and you would know it was him, and it would just be fun. It would just be funny as hell because, like, he just say some donuts or just something stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people would always get, huh? What? Oh, they selling it, and really be believing it. He'd always. I mean, he would do that shit all year long, and people would always fall for the shit. That shit used to be fucking hilarious though.
Damn.
That motherfucker that was funny.
Wow.
He was crazy.
That do sound like a funny man. Yeah. That's all that some crazy shit I do, man. I ain't gonna lie, I be doing some off the wall crazy shit at the house with my daughter. She'll be, like I said, sometimes she'll be sitting there, you know, watching her videos and watching playing Minecraft or whatever. And I just sneak up on her, be like, "Love you, what you doing?" She be like, "Damn, you scared the hell out of me." I say, "What?" All I did was say, "I love you." I be doing some crazy stuff like that too with my little girl and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I don't think,
you gotta keep them on their toes.
Oh, that was a good one. That's a good one.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, but you're gonna be the nationwide cookie man if the den blow up. They might be shipping internationally. So you know we gonna make sure we gonna keep it going. But I want to say shout out to all the friends in the den. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of mixer action this evening. So probably about maybe about 10 minutes or so. About 11:45 if we get some mixer action going. I'll do that for a little while. Hopefully I don't fall asleep on y'all. I'll reach out to Shaq Kush to see if he down to play some PUBG. And he's had a solid streak and not shooting me in the back in a while. So hopefully that'll we can keep that going. But so, you know what I mean? This just really is what it is. But I just want to say I appreciate y'all, all the friends at the den. I appreciate you, Mr. Man Up, for coming through and holding it down again. Just every time you come through, it's always a great conversation. And I think that people really gain something from the conversation. And I appreciate everybody who contributes, you know, and it adds their input into the conversation because ultimately that's what it's all about. But with that being said, chuck up the deuce from y'all from Starship Enterprise or whatever this background is with all these little stars and shit going on. Look to, nah, they don't say to infinity and beyond. That's the Toy Story shit. I don't know what that is. I forgot what that shit is. I forgot what the Starship shit is. We'll figure it out. But anyway, with that being said, we out. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, baby. We go. Y'all ain't got to go home. Y'all enjoy inviting y'all to the mixer, but y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. We out.
Peace.